So as we head through the beautiful town of Dunkeld and over the River Tay, I thought I'd just explain the little new feature that I've added to this video. After each of the main photos, the ones that are featured, I've included a screenshot showing the Lightroom settings that I've used. It'll only be on screen for a second, so if you're not interested, just let the video carry on. But if you want to see the technical details to see what I've done to the images, then you can stop and have a look through and see all the work that's gone into them, whether the image has barely been touched or has been heavily manipulated. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and if you do, please remember to like and subscribe. Don't you hate it when people say that? September's a wonderful time of the year in eastern Scotland. It's a time when you can head out to the hedgerows and gather brambles that can be made into a wonderful crumble or even a whisky liqueur. It's a time when things are on the move. The geese are just starting to arrive from the north, and red squirrels and jays are visible, making preparations for winter, storing food. Soon it's October and the leaves are at their peak colour. It's a time you really have to make sure that you make the best of every opportunity. So today I'm heading out to do some woodland landscape photography with the golden autumn leaves. I'm using the mountain bike because it allows you to get further than most people are willing to walk, and you can get to places that aren't seen so normally. It also means you can save time and get a bit of good exercise in as well. So here I am, heading up through the Athol Estates to a small loch to get some images of the golden colours. Hope you enjoy.
Well, I'm nearly at my first objective. I've spotted a lot of places to photograph, but I thought I'd come here first. Been cycling for about half an hour, and yeah, yes, and I've got a nice posing swan as well. So this is Mill Dam in Perthshire. I was up here last weekend with my family mountain biking and it just looked great, so I decided to come back. The only problem is I don't really have much time today. It's been raining quite hard until now, I've had things to do, and later on in the day I've got to get back home to go and pick up a puppy that we'll be looking after for the next 20 weeks, so that should be interesting. And tomorrow, the weather forecast says it's going to be blowing a hoolie, so all these beautiful autumn leaves will be disappearing fast. So I'm doing a bit of a smash and grab raid today. I bought the mountain bike, although mine's in the repair shop, so I've actually got my wife's mountain bike, which is interesting because I'm 6'4" and she isn't. So it's a bit like trying to ride a clown bike up a hill, but I'm here. I'm trying to get to as many places as I can do and take as many photos as I can. But at the moment what I'm working on is a landscape along here. The reflections are pretty good. I've just spent quite a bit of time getting this tripod level. I'll have to sort something out to make this quicker because this is just ridiculous. I'm going to take a shot across here which I'll then stitch together. So I've got it set up. It's all nice and level. So this is the second shot of the day, and it's quite a simple one. There's a lovely deciduous tree here, probably a birch. I'm terrible with trees. And there's some lovely leaves coming down, and in the background there's the trees. So what I'm trying to do is get a shot of these leaves here with the beautiful autumn colours, but mirrored in the sort of background out of focus will be the trees that have got a similar sort of colour range. So I'll set this up. It's on 0.8 of a second, f11, because I want plenty of depth of field in the leaves. I want to try and get as much as possible. I'll put the polarizer on, turn the polarizer on full, because there is a bit of reflections coming back, and you can see quite well. I've made it so I've got none of the ridgeline behind, that's all out of focus. Sorry, that's all out of the screen, so I've got no sort of flashing highlights. And it's quite an abstract shot. I've had to arrange it this way because there's a line of reeds which show up if I don't zoom in, so I've got quite a limited range. But it's the sort of shot that you can do things with. You can use it as a background, you can put text with it, it could go, you know, even as a cover of something. It's, you know, I'm not so much of an arty photographer, I'm more of a sort of trying to get photos that are useful that people can do things with. So it's all nicely set up. I've used live view to just fine tune the focusing. Make sure there isn't any reflections back to the polarizer. I'm slightly overexposing, but I'm not losing anything, I'm not losing any highlights. I've just spotted a pair of swans over there, which will possibly be my next photo. But anyway, I'm just going to take this. 2 seconds. 2 second delay. It's been set up in such a way that it's in live view, so the mirror's already locked up, so there's no problem there. And I'm now quickly going to grab a shot of these two swans. Okay, so plans seem to be changing. My initial idea was to do a 20-25 mile bike ride, get some photos and get some exercise as well today. However, it's just too good, it's beautiful. I moved along about 20 meters from the last photo and it's just all stunning. And I found this tree branches that have fallen into the lake and are covered in lake and are reflected really nicely. So I'm just setting things back up to take photos of landscapes. So quickly down here to change it to 2 second delay. What else do I need? ISO is right down. Over here, manual focus. Okay, happy with that. Set it up here. Now the histogram is displaying, it's not quite clipping, but it's as far over as I can go. Focusing. Yeah, I think that's pretty sharp. Gonna be a bit safe here, get one like this, bit shorter exposure, and also I'm just gonna play with the polarizer. I think that's about where I want it to be. Just recompose a bit more. And just check everything looks okay. The forecast had been rain followed by sunny spells and it's come out perfectly. And I think I'm going to have to try one more place just on this lakeside. Get some habitat shots. So I'm going to try and get some habitat type shots. Now this is a bit difficult here because this is a bit scrambly and mountain biking footwear doesn't really fit with scrambling down muddy things. But I'm going to try and get down here and get some shots of the work of a fantastic beast. And this is where you find them. Hey, I made that up on the spot. Doing well, yeah? Right. So, I've made it in one piece so far. Safety first, I'm wearing a helmet. What I want to try and photograph in the autumn colours, I'm pointing the wrong way, aren't I? But anyway, what I'm trying to photograph in the autumn colours is this tree. Can you guess what made this? Right, so in the interest of time and dignity, didn't end up filming that, but I'll put the photos up here if they're any good. I was trying to photograph that log, then the swans came over. But I'm now going to start heading down the hill to some other shots I spotted earlier on. So, some shots of me whizzing down a hill and trying to get through a tree. Yeah. Trees and tripods don't mix. Oh, it's beautiful here. The sun's coming out, which may cause me a few problems, or create some really good opportunities, I'm not sure. But this track is quite elevated above the stream. Okay, so the sun's come out and I'm kind of struggling now because the background's a lot brighter and the foreground's a lot darker, and I'd much rather it was the other way around. So I'm sort of pushing the bike and carrying the tripod down the hill and seeing what I can see, but it's actually quite tricky. I think I'll press on a bit further. Oh, and one tip if you ever try and photography with biking, take the helmet off before you try looking down the viewfinder. You know, it's a bit of a awkward one. This isn't sensible. Good fun though. So it's like the spot. Right, so I think this will be the last shot of the day. I'm setting up a panorama between these two trees, even a panorama. And the idea is to have the branches with the autumn colours close, out of focus, but focusing on the valley. So I spent ages doing levelling. God, I could reach 4,000 hours on YouTube just levelling this blooming tripod. I'm going to have to do something about this. I've also got everything set up, manual focus, ISO 100, and using live view to check the histogram and get the focus right so that it's on the distant trees. I'll probably do a second one actually focusing on the close trees, but again, click, move across, making sure you leave an overlap, click, move across, making sure you leave an overlap, click, and people are approaching now.
and one for luck. So as the tinkly music plays and I return to the start where I left the GoPro as I filmed myself heading up the hill, I just want to say a big thank you for watching this long and saying that if you're willing to suffer this far into one of my films, you really should think about subscribing. That would be really useful and I'd really appreciate it. Look at me, I'm now behind a thistle. I hope I remember that GoPro. Where are you? There I am. Remember the GoPro? Ian, remember the GoPro? The GoPro! I think he's forgotten it. Has he? Is he coming back? Ah, good. I think he's remembered.